Let me ask you something. What if just 6 months from now, you didn't recognize your life in the best way possible? Not a fantasy, not a wild dream, just the decision. Because here's the truth, science and real human experience both whisper the same secret, that with focused effort, with honest repetition, and just the right spark of belief, you can tilt the direction of your entire life. This isn't fluff. It's not think happy thoughts and expect miracles. This is about how your nervous system, that incredible wiring inside you, is designed to adapt. Your brain, it's not a finished sculpture. It's wet clay, constantly reshaping. That's called neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to rewire based on what you do, feel, and repeat. And it means this: no matter where you're starting, no matter how many times you've slipped before, you can change. But, and this is important, it doesn't happen by accident. Change asks for intention, repetition, focus. It asks for you to show up when it's hard, to move even when it's messy. See, at first, the discomfort, it's not a red flag. It's the signal. It's your mind beginning to tear down the old scaffolding and rebuild something better. So here's the offer. 6 months. 6 months to live like an experiment. 6 months of leaning in. 6 months of stepping up as your own guide, your own project, your own protocol. Because when people say, change your life, they're not really talking about the outside world. They're talking about giving your brain the consistent, repeated, powerful experiences it needs to rewrite its own code. Every single thought you think, every time you take action, every time you choose not to, it's all a vote. A vote for who you're becoming. But here's the catch. Most people, they don't stick with one signal long enough for the brain to believe it matters. That's why repetition isn't just helpful, it's everything. Neuroplasticity is wired into time, into rhythm, into consistency. Scattered effort won't cut it. But structured, emotionally connected repetition, that's when your brain leans in. And it all starts with one thing: intensity. Not hustle, not burnout, but deliberate focus, full attention, presence. You want to build new habits? Whether it's waking up earlier, fueling your body differently, moving with purpose, or sitting still to listen to yourself, you need to be in it. Not half scrolling, not multitasking. Because your brain only fires real change when it feels real importance. And that means your phone, your taps, your background noise, they're not just distractions. They're barriers to evolution. But when you bring your full self to the moment, even for 5 minutes, something incredible happens. Your brain opens the gates. It starts wiring change into its deepest layers. Timing matters too. The first half hour after you wake up, pure gold. Your chemistry is primed. Your mind is listening. So give it a habit worth repeating, journaling, moving, reading, breathing, and it will encode that moment into your identity. Then repeat it. Morning, evening. Let the signal become so strong your brain can't ignore it. And here's something most people miss. Neuroplasticity isn't just about learning something new. It's also about unlearning what no longer fits. Every time you show up for your new habit, you're also weakening the old one. Bit by bit. That's how you replace patterns, not with willpower alone, but with time, consistency, and trust. But fair warning, your old habits, they'll put up a fight. They were built through years of repetition. They won't go quietly. But that discomfort you feel, it's not failure. It's friction. And friction is where identity begins to shift. You're literally remodeling your brain. And that's why those tough moments matter so much, especially the ones where you show up even though you don't want to. That's when your brain says, oh, we're serious about this now. Because habits don't become hardwired through ease. They become hardwired through effort repeated in spite of difficulty. It's the reps on hard days that count the most. And you can even reinforce that process without moving a muscle through visualization. When you see yourself doing the thing, when you feel it in your chest, when you imagine overcoming resistance, your brain lights up just as if you were really there. Visual rehearsal isn't pretend. It's training. And when paired with action, it doubles your power. Let's talk dopamine. It's not just about pleasure. It's the fire behind your motivation, your drive, your hunger to pursue. And you don't have to wait for it. You can generate it if you stop chasing outcomes and start celebrating effort. Tell your brain, I showed up today, that matters. Say it again. And again. And your system will start linking joy not to results, but to the act of becoming. That's what rewires identity. You stop being someone who wants change, and become someone who lives change. But the modern world, it's full of fake dopamine, endless scrolling, sugar, pings, notifications, quick hits that hijack your system and leave you numb. Your job? Reset that system. Train your brain to earn dopamine through focus, effort, and real progress. Reward your effort randomly, like nature does. Sometimes celebrate. Sometimes just smile and keep going. That unpredictability keeps your motivation alive. You can even pair dopamine with challenge. Cold showers, fasting, deep work, discipline. If you link those struggles with growth and purpose, your brain starts to crave them. Why? Because now they feel meaningful. And here's something wild. The story you tell yourself about the hard thing, it literally changes your brain's chemical reaction to the hard thing. Your mindset is chemistry. Stacking too many dopamine sources, watching videos while eating, while texting, while thinking about goals, it burns your system out. Isolate your pleasures. Let movement be movement. Let meals be presence. Let learning be wonder. And the joy will deepen. You don't need new every day. You need meaning in the same. Because novelty fades, but structure builds. Which brings us to something people overlook, your environment. Everything around you is either a signal of who you're becoming or a distraction from it. Don't leave it to chance. Design your space to support who you want to be. Cut decision fatigue by prepping your day the night before. Remove temptations. Add triggers. Journal on your pillow. Shoes by the door. Create a frictionless path forward. This isn't about being strict. T's about making your goals the easiest option. Even your devices can support you. Delete what drains you. Highlight what fuels you. Turn your tech from a trap into a tool. In your physical space, light, cleanliness, cues, they all speak to your nervous system. Let your room whisper, you're safe here. You're focused here. You rise here. Now, let's talk about stress, not as a villain, but as a guide. Stress is a signal, a push, a teacher. The human body evolved to adapt through challenge. Hormones rise. Energy spikes. Focus narrows. But only when it's framed right. If you run from all discomfort, your resilience withers. But if you train with stress on purpose, the cold, the public speaking, the workouts, the tough choices, your system learns. This is how we grow. Each cycle of challenge and calm builds your capacity. You think clearer. You recover faster. You move with grace. It's not about avoiding stress, it's about owning it. And when it gets tough, breathe. Literally. Your breath is your steering wheel. Longer exhales calm the storm. Upright posture shifts your chemicals from panic to presence. In that presence, that pause, it gives you back your power. Sleep matters. Recovery matters. Rest isn't laziness, it's part of the process. Burnout comes from ignoring that. Growth comes from balancing effort with restoration. And when you feel the tension rise, when the work is heavy or the path is unclear, that's not a sign you're failing. It's a sign your identity is reshaping. Stay with it. One breath. One decision. One rep at a time, Here's the most powerful shift of all. Don't just change your habits. Change your identity. Stop saying, I'm trying. Start saying, this is who I am. Because every action is a vote for the type of person you believe yourself to be. That's the neurological loop. Identity creates behavior. Behavior reinforces identity. So act like the person you're becoming, even if it feels small, even if it feels fake. Especially then. Micro wins matter. One workout, one cold shower, one focused hour. Each one is a thread. Together, they weave a new you. Track them. Visualize them. Script your identity. I finish what I start. I thrive in challenge. I grow when it's hard. Say it enough and it stops being aspiration. It becomes reality. Because when actions align with identity, your brain rewards you, literally, with serotonin, the chemical of peace and purpose. You feel solid. Stable. You move with integrity. But when there's conflict between who you want to be and how you're showing up, that's when everything feels off. Align your actions, and suddenly discipline feels natural. Not because it's easy, but because it's true. And here's the final piece, emotional control. You will be tested. You'll get tired, triggered, frustrated. You'll feel like quitting. But that moment right there, that's the fork in the road. React or regulate. Don't stuff emotions down, name them. This is fear. This is doubt. This is resistance. And watch the charge soften. That space between emotion and action, that's where discipline lives. Reframe your story. You're not failing. You're recalibrating. And choose people who support your nervous system, not fry it. Sleep, nutrition, movement, these are not optional. They are foundations for emotional stability. And most importantly, when discomfort comes, sit with it. Don't numb it. Don't run from it. Let it rise. Let it teach. And then let it pass. Because every time you survive discomfort without breaking your promise to yourself, you build something unshakable. You build the kind of self-trust that turns into power. The kind of identity that doesn't crumble under pressure, it rises through it.